Hey everyone, and welcome to the Balanced Bodies Blueprint. I am your host, Vinny Russo.
And I'm your co-host, Dr. Eryn Stansfield.
And we're shifting gears from all the conventional fitness narrative you hear on most fitness podcasts, as our main emphasis lies in preventative healthcare, adopting a holistic approach to nutrition, and challenging the traditional views on various fitness topics.
Our mission with this podcast is to provide you with the information you need to achieve optimal health.
Welcome to episode 24 of the Balanced Bodies Blueprint. Today, Dr. Eryn and I, we're going to be playing a game here. We're going to be playing Hot or Not, but we're going to be doing this with supplements. We got 9 supplements that we're going to do the Hot or Not game with. And for time purpose and efficiency, we're not going to dive deep into like the research and what it says and all that stuff. We're going to give our general answers or ideas about each individual supplement. There might be a little research that says to back it up, but for time purposes, we're going to try to be as efficient as possible and as fun as possible with this and not drag this on out. With that being said, I do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors of this podcast, Legion Athletics, for providing us and all of their customers with science-backed supplements. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. So we're going to be diving in 9 supplements, hot or not. We're going to get right into it. Dr. Eryn, before we get started, do you have anything you want to say or preference or anything like that?
Nope. Let's go.
No. All right. So the first supplement, which is widely known around the world, is going to be creatine. So on the count of 3, we're going to hold up whether that is a hot, which means it's got some good research behind it. It's a supplement you should invest in, or not, which is something you should just stay away from. All right. So creatine in 3, 2, 1. What do you got? We both do hot. All right, great. I'm going to just start it off with saying that creatine, there's a vast amount of research showing that it is an effective supplement for improving exercise performance by increasing the energy availability during high intense activity, right? And there's actually some research now that's showing some promise with having cognitive benefits. But the way creatine works is really just restoring ATP. It stores in your body as phosphocreatine. As you go through exercise, your body uses ATP, which is 3 phosphate groups attached to adenosine, and it releases a phosphate group. So the phosphocreatine is able to give a phosphate group back to the now ADP, 2 phosphates, in order to restore and rejuvenate our chemical currency, our energy currency within the body. And that's how it works. And that leads to improved performance. So why'd you put hot, Dr. Eryn?
Well, you just went through the physiology of why it's important. So you said all the things that I was going to say: increases exercise performance, increases strength. It does increase lean body mass. I think there's a lot of myths surrounded about it, so maybe I can touch on those. A lot of people worry about creatine causing water retention. And if anything, it can cause a slight increase in intramuscular water retention. So cellular water retention, which actually would make your look, would make your look better.
Yeah.
not the kind of water retention we try to avoid. And then I think health-wise, often a lot of patients come to me and ask if creatine is bad for their kidneys, liver, or heart. And really, unless you have an underlying disease mechanism, creatine is not going to be harmful to those organ systems. There's usually no negative impacts. And then there's some workout myths, like you need to load creatine, or there's certain timing for creatine. That's not really necessary, if you will. And if you take anywhere regularly from 3 to 5 grams per day, and creatine monohydrate is the best one to take.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most researched one, and it's the cheapest one out there. So don't pay a ton of money for the other
It's
types
also
of creatine
the most bioavailable. Yeah, it's the most bioavailable as well.
And so, but yeah, you don't need to load. You don't need to take it around your workout. Although, if you think about it logically, it might help with your workout. But as long as you take it for several weeks, you will have that underlying supply. Yeah, I think those are most of the myths that I hear.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other things?
The biggest one was the water retention and how it bloats you and stuff. Yeah, it's going to draw some water into the cell, but a hydrated cell is a healthy cell. So I'm all about that. But you hit everything on the head. I'm just excited to see what this cognitive research is going to show, as there needs to be a little bit more research to be done there.
Right.
All right. Let's go on to the second supplement. So the second supplement, which is going to be either hot or not, is L-Carnitine. In three, two, one, hold it up. Not. We both say not. Carnitine is best known for its role in shuttling these long chain fatty acids into the mitochondria to help use as energy, which means basically you're using your body fat um, to be used as energy. Now, for one, the bioavailability of L-carnitine in pill form and powder form is terrible, right? So in order to get the amount that you would need to show an effect, you'd run through, a month supply that's being sold. If you are going to go this route, the best option would be like an injectable L-carnitine, but even then, the evidence is minimal at best, and you don't really know what you're getting in that injectable L-carnitine. It's not coming from a pharmacy. It's coming from, an underground lab or something like that. So I'm saying not for L-carnitine. I don't think the research supports it.
I so my take on mostly supplements, because in my mind there's only a few that are researched, and I'll probably say this again, but again, I'll echo what you said in that
Yeah.
most of them are not sufficiently researched. You don't know what you're getting in a supplement. They're not FDA regulated. I don't think they're underground labs necessarily. Some supplement factories are very nice, and they look very posh and they look clean. But they could be putting chalk in their supplement and maybe a little bit of the actual drug that they're promoting. And a lot of it is proprietary blends. So you don't know what the ratios are.
Yeah.
Again, the testing to actually see what's in the drug is not done very well. If anything, if you want to take something like this, make sure it's third party tested. But even then, I would say I still wouldn't trust it. Even some of those third party testers, it's difficult to test supplements, basically.
Yeah. This would have been a very good preference into this show because you could literally say this for every single supplement that we're going to do.
Yeah,
And by underground labs, I meant like because supplement companies aren't going to sell injectable stuff, right?
yeah, that's true.
So you're going to have to find it from like an underground lab that's doing this injectable L-carnitine.
Mm.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Branch chain amino acids, BCAAs, hot or not in three, two,
Oh,
one.
sorry, I'm
Uh,
early.
yeah, we both say not to this one. We already know this. This BCAAs is a waste of money to me. It's
They
funny
do
because
they do taste good though.
yeah, no, it's good for water flavoring, but I'd rather go Crystal Light or like Bio or something like that.
That's cheaper. That's
Yeah,
cheaper.
yeah. They claim to keep you in like this positive nitrogen balance, but what a lot of the general population doesn't understand is that all essential amino acids must be present for muscle protein synthesis to even take place. You're only giving three. You're giving leucine, isoleucine, and valine, I believe. Those are the branch chain amino acids. So what you might as well do instead of taking branch chain amino acids, take essential amino acids. And even then, it's kind of like you don't really need them because you're going to get them through your food. And just to let everybody know, branch chain amino acids make up protein. Protein has calories. Branch chain amino acids aren't calorie free, no matter what they say. There's loopholes that companies could get around to say calorie free, zero sugar, that type of stuff. So, number one, it's not calorie free. And number two, it's not going to prevent you from your muscle wasting during your fasted cardio sessions. So stop sipping your gallon of water on the Stairmaster at 5 a.m. with that's green colored or baby blue with full of branched chain amino acids. It's not necessary. It's a waste of money. Dr. N, what do you got to say?
Unless they taste good.
Yeah.
I'm just
I used to
kidding.
I used to do one. It was called Extend by Scivation, and it was green apple, and I fucking loved the taste
Yeah.
of it. I loved the taste of it, but it's expensive, and honestly, I could get Crystal Light for a lot
Yeah.
cheaper. So
Yeah, I don't think there's any benefit to taking anything like that unless like it helps you mentally, like, oh, I'm looking forward to that drink during my workout. That's
yeah,
fine then.
that's a good way to see. There's a positive spin you could throw on it. Great, you're now going to make people go waste money. The next supplement is is whey protein. We're going to do this together in three, two, one. Okay.
Okay.
But Dr. Aaron, I want you to touch on this first. Let me stop talking a little bit, let you touch on it, and then I'll say what I have to say. So, hot or not, whey protein in three, two, one, go. Oh, we both say hot. All
Yeah.
right. So go ahead. Tell the audience what you
So I
think.
think it is a convenient way to get your protein in, especially if you're especially if you're doing resistance training. But in general, a lot of people undereat protein, and sometimes it's difficult. People are
Mhm.
busy. I think it's a great way. It tastes good. You know, it's better to get protein from food sources. Uh, and I would always make sure that you have variety in your diet plan. But like for myself, I rely on a ton because I don't have a lot of time at lunchtime, or I'm
Yep.
usually doing meetings or reading articles or doing some other thing that I need to be doing. And so if I can chug a whey protein shake, I'm gonna go do that. And it does curb my appetite and it helps me meet those protein goals. So I think it's a great supplement. In my mind, I don't even consider it a supplement. It's just, but it is, because it is something that, they figured out how to make taste good and put in drinks.
Well, yeah, it supplements the whole food if you can't
Yeah,
eat it, right?
exactly. Yes.
I like whey protein because it is a great source of protein, and like you said, it's very convenient. It's very easy to get into your diet. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, how do I fit so much protein into my plan? Like, how do I eat this many grams of protein per day?
Right.
This is a very easy, convenient source on how to do it. And its digestibility is very high. It has a quick absorption rate. I like this over casein, although they both are two very quality proteins. I just like this because it's more quick acting, where casein is more time released, so to speak. If you do have a lactose intolerance, you want to stay away from whey protein and you could go other routes. But honestly, I think this is the best quality, the most bang for your buck here with the whey protein. Plus, it's well researched and it shows multiple benefits for things like muscle gain and even some cardiometabolic health as well. So I'm all about whey protein. All right, let's go on to the fifth supplement. So five of nine, we are going into caffeine. Is caffeine hot or not? In three,
Oh,
two,
right.
one, go. We both are saying hot. I don't
Mhm.
think we've disagreed yet.
Wow.
Um, so caffeine, I'm a big fan of it, and I know that there is a lot of research out there that supports its performance enhancing effects. Um, it's used to stimulate the central nervous system and is actually considered an anti-sleep compound because it acts as an adenosine antagonist. The things that can happen when you take caffeine is that your blood pressure can increase acutely. Adrenaline, dopamine, and serotonin all increase. You get improved cognition. There's been studies that show improved memory, even improved focus. You get improved reaction time, reaction speed, not reaction time. Athletic performance improves. The only downfall that I could see with caffeine is number one, the minor increase in blood pressure. And then also it might give people some anxiety. It might give them the jitters and they don't want to have those jitters. But with performance alone, I think that there's enough research behind it to show its beneficial effects and that it should be taken if you want to enhance your performance.
I agree with you in general as far as the side effects. I think, the dose makes the poison. So if you're, I love caffeine.
Or if you're very
Um,
sensitive to it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So the only thing I would say, on the medical side is just watch your heart rate. It's, if you take too much, you can have heart rate variability. So just monitor that. And obviously, if you're prone to having anxiety, that increase in heart rate can make you feel like a little bit like you're having a panic attack. And so just be careful with the dose. But yeah, caffeine is great. I will tell you anecdotally that I went through a good portion of my life not having to drink coffee. And then I was a surgery resident and I never had coffee. And I went on after that year and did some other residency. And I ended up, you know, starting to drink coffee, and I thought to myself, how did I make it through surgery without drinking any coffee? Because it was
Yeah.
great. It was like a game changer. Helped me, get my work done and quickly help me think on my feet. Not that those are, reasons to take it necessarily, but those are the benefits I saw.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. I don't know how you went that long without coffee, but
Me
that's crazy.
neither.
That's crazy to me. All right, let's go on to the next supplement. This is going to be CLA, which is conjugated linoleic acid. So CLA, hot or not, in three, two, one, hold it up. Both say not again. I'm a big proponent of going against CLA. I've taken all of these supplements before. All right. I've done them all. All right. I just want to say that. CLA was probably the first ones that like I ordered, took them and just like threw the rest out literally. And I didn't even care about the money. And what was I? I was at beginning of college when I took it. And I didn't have money. But I didn't care. I was just like, this is nonsense. What am I doing? CLA claims to be like a fat burning supplement because it's supposed to act on a molecular signaling receptor family called PPAR to help induce fat loss. Now, when we had human studies about this, all of these CLA studies with humans are very unreliable. And even some of the studies showed contradicting results. So I am not a fan of CLA, and I would say no one waste their money on it.
I can't add much to that. I remember when it was popular, I didn't buy into it. And then I felt like it kind of
You didn't drink coffee until you were
I
30.
know.
So I don't expect you to buy into any of these.
Then it kind of fizzled away. So I think I don't know. I wouldn't endorse it at all.
Okay. All right, well, that's over with. So no CLA. How's that?
Yeah.
Number 7 out of 9. We're going to the popular supplement of fish oils, omega-3 fish oils in particular. All right, so hot or not in three, two,
Oh, wait. Okay, there you go.
three,
Now I can start
two,
the countdown.
3, 2, 1, go. Hot? You're saying hot too? Okay.
Well, it depends. It depends one.
Well, if it depends, that should be a not.
Yeah. Okay, I'll say this. It depends because there's some benefits if you have high triglycerides, and that's why it's prescribed clinically.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at cardiovascular deaths, mortality rates, it hasn't been shown to actually affect the cardiovascular system as once thought. And again, I'm going to say this about a lot of these supplements because they are not FDA regulated. They're not, they can contain contaminants, oxidized fatty acids, saturated fats, and other impurities. So the benefit might not be there with the supplement that you're getting. It does have antiplatelet effects. So there is some clinical research going on about that. But it doesn't seem to increase bleeding risk. But yeah, so I think if for brain development in kids, I think it's might be beneficial. But unless you have high triglycerides as an adult, I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that it's hot because it has a very good effect on reducing trigs and inflammation within the body is what the research says. I was surprised to find out that it wasn't so much heart health because that's what it's promoted for. It's mainly promoted for. I'm pretty sure there's a company that has like a heart in the logo of its the omega-3 fish oils. So I was pretty surprised to learn about that. But I would definitely say if you're pregnant, take it for the EPA and DHA, which is great for brain development within the infant. And even when it is an infant, to actually have some EPA and DHA, whether that's through formula or I don't know how else you could do it. I never had a kid. So I don't know how else you could give it to them. So yes.
Actually, there are like fish oil smoothies that tastes very good. I don't know. I'm
Did you
not
try them?
endorsing. Yes.
You tried them?
Yeah, they're really good. I'm not endorsing them. I don't know how, what the actual ratio of the fish oil is versus like the contaminants,
Yeah.
but they do taste good.
Okay. All right. Let's go to number 8 out of 9. So supplement 8 is vitamin D. Is it hot or not? In three,
Ugh.
2, 1, hold it up.
All right.
Our first one that we disagreed on.
That's only
I'm saying it's
because
hot.
that's only because the last one this one depends for me. It
Yeah, so it
depends.
should be a not because
All right.
I like there to be some type of back and forth here. I'm gonna go and say that I feel like it's hot because number one, where we live, most people are pretty deficient in it. So I think supplementation should be recommended, not mandatory, but recommended. But when you take vitamin D and what it can supply to you is immune health, bone health, and overall, even some mental health, where it's taken with people with depression to kind of get them back on track. I'm a fan of it. I think we need it, especially the D3. But too much of it, then again, can be toxic because it is fat soluble. And because it's fat soluble, it could bioaccumulate. So I think taking vitamin D3, if you are doing it, maybe get some regular checkups just to make sure and monitor that you are not hitting any type of toxicity. But I think it's hot because I feel like there's more benefits than there are risks here with vitamin D.
So the reason I said it depends, and I don't know about your latter stuff about the stuff that you mentioned about depression. I'd have to look deeper into the research to actually comment on that. But I think it's been an overhyped vitamin. Again, I think there's certain populations that need it, specifically aging populations. So they have done studies where the skin does have a decrease in vitamin D production as you age. It decreases about 13% each decade,
Yeah.
essentially. So, and since there are age-related decreases in calcium absorption, and that's multifactorial, vitamin D with calcium supplementation can help, especially those people who, one, are aging or who are prone to fractures, so falls. I'm thinking about as we age and are more prone to like trips and falls and
Hmm.
maybe hip fractures. Or obviously if you have osteoporosis or a disease state. So then I think it becomes a vital thing. As far as like the normal population, it depends. I think if you do get labs and you are low, it's not, you can supplement. Is it necessary? I'm on the fence about that. I think it's been one of these supplements or these vitamins that have been marketed as, oh, the entire population is low on it because we don't get enough sun exposure. And I don't necessarily agree with that.
Okay, well, tomato, tomato over here. I'm gonna just say that if you are deficient in it when you go
Yeah.
get lab work, yeah, obviously you take it, but I feel like that does have to do a lot with the sun exposure. And maybe people staying inside a little bit too much, or just the way we're tilted away from the sun. So last supplement, here we go. Last one, 9 of 9. This should be an easy one for both of us. Fat burners. That's the last supplement in three, two.
Oh, wait.
You
Sorry.
didn't even catch on to the
Sorry.
game yet. 3, 2, 1, go. We both say not. I expected that. Once again, just like branched chain amino acids, fat burners are a waste of your money. They may give you the energy that makes you want to work out or maybe push you through a cardio session when you're tired, but they don't directly burn fat. And I also think you have to be extremely careful with your heart health if you dive deep into these fat burners. There is a little bit of research, though, on yohimbine. There is also on ephedra, but ephedra I'm not even going to talk about because it's illegal and I wouldn't even risk that. Yohimbine's still sold, especially for men who have like ED problems. But yohimbine the research shows that it may exert lipolytic effect, which basically increases fat burning. And it may help improve your body composition. If you guys want to check out the PMID for that, just because it's something to look into, PMID is 172-14405. You could just PMID that in Google and go read that research for yourself. But that's about it. I'm saying it's a waste of money. I'm saying you need to be careful. I'm thinking that it's just overloaded with stimulants, maybe even nootropics to make you feel a little bit of a high and focused. But besides that, I think it's just a waste of money.
Well, one, you should have shared your PMID with me. I would have looked that one up. I think that at very best, these supplements don't do anything for you, and at very worst, they can cause major problems. We talked about on the other podcast about Oxy Elite.
Oxy Elite Pro. Oh
yeah, which was
that nonsense.
Which was a fat burner. And people were actually having medical issues because of it. And so you have to be very careful. Again, these are unregulated substances. The FDA doesn't do anything about them unless there's ill health effects reported directly on their website. Then they start looking into the company, but they have to have a number of those are kind of like a consistent pattern, essentially. So yeah, I don't necessarily think they are great. And again, they can be very dangerous. And I think that's often not even discussed, especially if you're taking other things along with the fat burner. Again, a lot of them have caffeine. If you're taking caffeine on top of that, we already talked about the doses of poison. You have to be very careful about not overdoing that caffeine intake for your day. Somebody who's accustomed to it can probably titrate up, but somebody who's unaccustomed is going to have issues, including, palpitations, tachycardia, those sorts of things that caffeine naturally does. And so you just have to be careful about what you're ingesting.
Yeah, and even be careful for something like bovine hormone that you might find in these supplements. It might be in the ingredients, which is actually an animal thyroid. So you're getting thyroid hormone in that supplement. So just be careful. If you see that, don't take it, plain and simple. But that's it. That's all we got for the hot or not, our first ever hot or not, which was a supplement showdown between 9 different supplements. We agreed on pretty much all of them except vitamin D. So next time we got to come up with some supplements that we disagree on, that we argue about, and make it more fun. So on behalf of Balanced Bodies, we just want to say thank you for joining us on this episode of the Balanced Bodies Blueprint.
We are committed to bringing valuable content. And if you enjoyed today's episode, we'd greatly appreciate it if you can take a moment and like it and leave a 5-star review.
On Apple, just go to the show, scroll down to the bottom and rate it there. If you're on Spotify, go to the show's page, click the 3 dots, and you can rate it there as well.
And if you believe in the power of knowledge, share this episode on your social media to try and get the information out there to as many people as possible.
And as you navigate your own path towards better health, remember that Balanced Bodies is forever in your corner. See you all next week.
The podcast content may include discussions of medical topics and health-related information. However, the information provided should not be considered exhaustive or complete, and it should not be relied upon as a substitute for professional medical advice or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare providers with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment.